Yo, what is good, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm recording Monday morning. You've got Ryan Hodge with FantasyLabs.com here, and we're going to do a Week 7 review. Take a look at my contest selection, how I arrived at my player pool, the lineups that I made, and how much money I lost. Because we had another losing week, man. And, quick side note on that. I had kind of tweeted something out. If you follow me on Twitter at Ryan Hodge, just been getting dusted. I've had like a couple small losses. Maybe like $400 or $500 or whatever. But I've had multiple slates where it's been like returning zero. And so like I expect, as somebody who only plays tournaments, I expect to go on losing streaks, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 weeks. And it is what it is. Maybe 7, maybe 8. But to get fully dusted, I'm starting to check myself mentally. Is there a leak that I need to plug? Am I playing too many lineups and not putting enough thought into each lineup that I'm creating? I don't use it. I mean, I use an optimizer, but I hand build everything. To be real clear, like in the Fantasy Labs player model under DraftKings, I build all of my lineups right here, and then I'll go enter them on DraftKings, right? So like I don't necessarily hit optimize, if you will, but I use my model and I build and I look at all the data, and that's how I build my stuff. So I actually think I might hire a coach, or at least just chat with a couple different sharps, a couple different pros, who I've known over the years, and just have them do some review work with me and see if there's something that I need to plug, because I'm not entirely sure if something's right. So here, let's start with my concise conviction article. This is on Fantasy Labs. And I said that my 2 favorite overlooked stacks, I listed 2 this week. I usually only do 1, but I thought that the Tennessee side of the Kansas City game would come in at a lot less ownership than the Kansas City side. I know that people loved this game, and I know that A.J. Brown and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Mecole Hardman and all the ancillary pieces of this game would definitely catch some ownership, but I thought by just pivoting to Tannehill, you could get a nice discount in ownership. And in a contest like, what do I have all my upcoming? In a contest like the Juke or some of the smaller spies. So let's go to the Juke here. It's a pretty big deal to get that cheap of that big of a discount in ownership. So let's see if I can find a Tannehill team here. What did Tua 13%? Man, people are too sharp. I'd love to just find a Tannehill team here real quick. Sorry, I should have exported or had this ready to go. You know me, no prep, just slap and record and saying whatever's on the top of my mind. Lamar Jackson, 14%. So you can see, like, getting ownership in discount in a field like this. I mean, look how flat this is. Stafford, 12%. Tua, 13%. Matt Ryan, 9%. Like down here, because Patty Mahomes, 15%. Okay. I'm going to do this the right way and just export. I wanted to have the visual. Nobody likes to look at Excel spreadsheets. Let me open this spreadsheet up for us and just find Tannehill's ownership in the Juke. Sorry, guys. Should have already had this done, but all right, and this will kind of give us an overall view too. Blow this up for y'all. This is video production at its finest. Darrell Henderson, Calvin Ridley, Cardinals, Chris Godwin. Wow, Miles Sanders. That's insane. I really was not. I don't know if that was a late swap or what that really pushed his ownership up there. That's kind of crazy. Darrell Henderson was still 50% owned. Okay, Eagles, Darrell Williams, Patrick Mahomes. So Patrick Mahomes, the highest owned quarterback. Lamar Jackson, Tua, Stafford, 12%. So you can see we're starting to get that discount on Tannehill. Matt Ryan, 9%. Allen Robinson, 6%. And it was just like nobody wanted to play Tannehill at 5%. So I really thought moving to just Tannehill was sharp, and it worked out. Great opponent plus minus, and 2 wide receivers and quarterbacks, good implied team total, yada 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 yada. Atlanta Falcons, Miami Dolphins was my another overlooked game stack that I thought was pretty good. Core plays: Matt Ryan, rest in peace Darrell Henderson, rest in peace Joe Mixon. Absolutely brutal days from both of them. I will say, because I was so dead, I ended up with almost no Darrell Henderson, and you can see here in the juke, this was Henderson, and I honestly forget. You can see I definitely left some money, a little bit of money on the table here. This was Henderson, and I genuinely don't remember. It might have been Godwin. It could have been like Henderson and Godwin. I don't think, actually, no, I don't think I had enough cap for that. I honestly don't remember who this was. But I went up to Robert Woods. I just was trying to create as much leverage against Henderson as I possibly could in a lineup that I had a snowflake from and really just did not perform all that well. And I knew I was drawing dead to cash if I kept Henderson and whoever this was. So went with Woods in this one, and then in this one I swapped to Evans here. I swapped to Dallas Goedert. I swapped to Allen Robinson, and I swapped to DeAndre Swift. I think from an ownership standpoint, those were all good swaps off some of the chalk that I had in this lineup, and I think the swaps worked just fine. This was a Patrick Mahomes team. This was so dead, I didn't even I did swap. I swapped to Miles Sanders off of Henderson, who I thought was going to be a lot less owned than 27%. So go me. But yeah, it's just like, it is what it is. Was really into Matt Ryan this week. Didn't quite get there. Neither did Calvin Ridley. Unfortunate. Like, none of these guys just got there. Good game environment. 58 points scored in this game. These are pretty mediocre outcomes for a stack there. Slayton for me was, we got the news, kind of into late and then into Sunday morning. That there was just going to be a much more condensed target share in this offense. I thought the game environment was fine. I thought the Giants were okay. For 4K, it just allowed me to get a little bit more wiggle room here with Hubbard. I think this was originally Joe Mixon, and then I went to Hubbard and Slayton after the news, and that allowed me to get up to Pitts, I think, from maybe Gesicki. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember with all the swaps that I was making Sunday morning. And then Robert Woods and DeAndre Swift were late swaps. So that's where I ended up in the juke here. This is a 3-max, $400 per entry. There is 277 people. I think it's a pretty good contest. I really like this one. A lot of sharp players in here. Let's see. I think Mock took this one down with a hashtag play the best plays. So taking a look at his lineup. Bateman, it's just not a single guy under 10%. And I think that's something. And here's the other thing too. I don't know if Swift was a swap. I'm going to assume not. It just looks like he was really exposed to this game. I don't think he didn't fail at Gesicki. He didn't fail with Bateman, and everything else was late. So I'm assuming that these weren't swaps, or he basically stacked this game knowing that maybe if Bateman and Gesicki failed, he could go to something a lot more unique than Henderson and Kupp and Godwin. And just left a ton of options open with there being 4 games in the late slate. And that's something that, and we'll look at Ian's lineup here. I was talking to Ian this Sunday morning, and I said, do you guys remember that slate where it was like Chargers? There was that massive quote unquote late swap slate where everyone just needed to have a piece to make sure that they could swap off of. This week, to me, when 40% of the games were going on the afternoon slate, actually felt like a late swap week. I felt like there were so many ways to gain new information after the early set of gains and make decisions based off of that. And I think I would not be surprised if that is what Mock did here. This is total speculation. This literally could have been his lineup straight out of the gate. I have no idea. But I would not be surprised if maybe he had something different going in the afternoon game. Maybe he had some Arizona stack, or maybe he, maybe he had like a Philly Vegas stack, and he had Jalen, who was a good play. A lot of people were playing him, and so like I maybe not with Moreau, like I don't know, or not being able to use Moreau. All I'm saying is that he left himself so many options based off of just the information of his wide receiver and his tight end getting there. I think it's probably not enough information. Maybe if he had a wide receiver and like a defense going in the early game, and those guys did well too, he has enough information. But so Chipotle brothers, let's move over. Another Stafford. Sorry, 7:30 in the morning and haven't had my coffee yet. Another Stafford, Swift, Sanders. Man, Sanders, this ownership on Sanders. I know you can run on Philly, but like I thought Sanders would be a little more less owned in this. Another Cup lineup. I mean, like you're probably not in the top 5 if you don't have Cup. Actually, I know Ian doesn't have Cup, so what a brutal loss. Godwin, Cardinals, Foster Moreau. Foster Moreau was definitely interesting. Kind of like Waller was like a true 50-50, maybe even like a 40-60 to not play. And, you had some options there. Wow, DJ Moore, $7,100. So, like, I mean, these are the reasons why I like these power sales. He's got 2 snowflakes and he gets top 5. And it's $1,200 to 3-max this. So he had a profitable day here, even with two of the old snowflakers. Let's take a look at Ian's lineup here. This was a Tua lineup. Now, I know for a fact that this was actually Henderson, and I genuinely don't know who he had in his flex. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Godwin. I think this was Henderson, Godwin, and he knew based off of this core right here of just like not really getting there. Nothing bad, but he was shooting for first place. So we were just talking through some late swaps, and I kind of told him where I was at, and I said I think moving to Swift and Evans on something like that is perfect. You are leveraging Chris Godwin, who we knew was going to be pretty highly owned, and you are leveraging Darrell Henderson with the opposite running back here. And Swift got there. It's actually kind of insane that he didn't get. He should have had, you can go watch it, he should have had the bonus and another receiving touchdown. He dropped a wide open swing pass. He didn't really drop it. Goff just like totally missed him. And then even on the last 2-minute drive and just absolute garbage time, he dropped another pass. So he should have easily had a 30-plus point day. Here we are at 28.5. So yeah, I know that was his swap, and he gets there here in the juke. You love to see it. Bateman, another just easy, way too underpriced for his role. We knew that. Let's take a look at JK. Cup, man. Henderson. So like he started with Tua, Calvin, Waddle, Bateman. I mean, you can see like this game, a lot of people ended up being on this game, so maybe it was not as overlooked as I thought it was going to be. Jasicki, so he got an okay start. I'm actually surprised that he stayed, maybe because he had Swift. I don't know. This is interesting to me. I would have moved having Tua, Calvin Waddle, Bateman. I mean, like, these guys just didn't get there. Tua definitely got there. These guys did not. None of these guys got there. I would say Waddle was fine at 5,600, but this is not okay from Calvin. Bateman is fine. You're not upset about it, but like ideally in a tournament like this, I think you're really hoping for closer to 15 or 16. Yeah, I especially if I was gonna keep on my Cardinals chalk defense, I can almost guarantee you that I would have swapped off of Henderson based off of this information. That's not hindsight. Like I told you, I was 100% Henderson. Go check my Twitter feed with the screenshot, and then I swapped to Swift, as you guys can see here. I would have swapped off of Henderson. Granted, I'm not sure it really would have mattered because I would have moved to like a James Conner or a Miles Sanders, who I thought would be lower owned. So I don't really know if it would have mattered, but I just personally probably would have swapped off of Henderson. Or maybe he just had enough PMR that he thought, play the best plays. And I actually understand that too. Just trying to, squeak into the top 3 with the play the best plays. How many people above him had Henderson? 1. So, maybe it was sharp, just 2 people above him with Henderson. So I think if Henderson has that 25-point day, or even 20-point day, he easily goes up to a top 2 here. So yeah, maybe that was fine with the PMR that he had. I actually don't hate that. Jay Barton, absolute GOAT. Love to see you smashing the CSGO streets, buddy. Henderson Swift, I just don't think this is something I ever would have done, and I saw this a couple different times. I think Mock had it too, right? Henderson Swift. So I don't know if that's a late swap thing or if that's just getting, understanding that 16-point home favorites versus a pass-catching running back and just kind of playing them both. It's just, I don't know. I mean, because like his script truly does set up for the receiving work, right? So like I absolutely understand that. It's just usually these playing 2 running backs. And I think this is where me getting a coach and just reviewing, I might need to break some old habits. I'm playing this for a long time, and so I have these tendencies and just maybe bad habits just baked into my DFS brain set, and it's just like maybe this is fine. Maybe just like, nope, can't play 2 running backs. Just can't play 2 running backs from the same game. Well, what if that one running back literally is involved in the passing game to an extremely high rate? That's where he gets all of his high value touches. And the other running back is the massive home favorite who has insane touchdown equity. So why not play both of them, right? So like maybe I just need to start expanding my mind on how I'm building some of these lineups. And I don't know. This is why I'm literally hiring a coach, and I'm gonna do some review work this week. Not just on last week, not just on week 6 or week 7, but like we're gonna open up the CSV and we're gonna get into it. We're just gonna study the heck out of it. So Jamar Chase, too sharp, 7.2%, too sharp. You should get another +3. I always thought that they should do an extra +3 for another 100 yards. I thought that'd be sick. Probably break the slate. Foster Moreau, sharp. Stayed on Godwin here. Okay, so he started with Lamar, Moore, Chase, Brown. So a little game stack here. Don't hate it at all. And then he had some PMR. He got the -3 from his defense. You hate to see it on the not even a pure punt. Kept Godwin in there. Maybe because he had Chase, he thought he was fine with Godwin. I just like after Moore goes and a high salary only puts up 23. I still feel like if I'm playing Henderson, I'm probably moving to Mike Evans here. If I have this 100 in cap space, couldn't change defense. So maybe maybe it was he wanted to keep Henderson in there, and Godwin was still the best play. Okay, that makes sense actually. No cap space to move up unless he moved off of Henderson, and it wasn't as easy of a Henderson to Swift and then Godwin up. So that makes sense there. And here, let me check the dashboard here. We hadn't loaded the games in yet prior to recording this. It doesn't look like we still have. So that's why I'm spending most of the time in the DK lobby here going over this review. So let's take a look at a couple different other contests here. I like the 1,000-person power sweep here. Yeah, I think this is the bigger one. This should have 1,000 people in it, not the one with like 200. Yep. So here's 1,100. Let's take a quick look at the ownerships here. Here's my Tannehill lineup, 5.8%. I probably should have moved. I think this was a mistake. And I think I even tweeted that out when I was kind of just posting some of my stuff for review, because like I knew I was pretty dead here. You're just dead when you pay $8,600 for a 12.7 Tyreek Hill at 17% ownership. Like you're absolutely toast. And I think I came in and swapped off of this lineup. That's the frustrating part. I'm pretty sure I came in and swapped to Evans, and somehow didn't move to Swift here, for the extra 20 points, 173. Do I min cash at 173, people? Do I min cash at 173? I do. I min cash at 173. I could have returned something, but somehow I made a mistake and did not get off of Henderson there. That's too brutal. Also in the juke in my swaps, I played that Robert Woods one. I probably should have just played Mike Evans in both and leveraged both of those lineups with the way that I had unique players throughout both. And would have got a nice little min cash there and returned something too. We're looking for min cashes. You are on a bad streak when you are literally swapping and cheering for min cashes. No joke. Standing in front of the TV looking for min cashes at 5:30 in the afternoon. You absolutely hate to see it. Let's see what shipped this. Shady and nasty. Jalen Hurts. Look at all the fire down the lineup. Cooper Kupp. You had to have Kupp to win. You had to have Chase to win some of these big things. And, I will say I think that is what is nice. If you remember the winning lineup from the juke that we just reviewed, no Jamar Chase. You did not need that to win. He did have Kupp, but he did not have both of them. So that's why I like that smaller field stuff. And there are smaller fields with lower buy-ins too. Like if the juke is outside of your bankroll, find one of the ones that's 50 or 100, and play those. I think there's just so much more plus EV. Here's Mach 192. This is probably the same exact lineup that he had in the juke. Yes, it is. Tinderella, another sharp player. The Stafford. Yep, here's the Stafford Van Jefferson at $3,500. Congratulations. This guy's always just like top 10 in my fantasy lab models, and I refuse to play the guy because I just don't think he's good. But, one of those cases where I think I know better. Swift, Staff, Kupp, mini correlation with Ridley and Gesicki, like that. Hunter Renfrow. Did he have? Yeah. I mean, these are just good teams. I would say play the best plays, but I don't even think this is play the best plays. Like Hunter Renfrow, Van Jefferson, definitely not play the best plays. Leonard Fournette, not a bad play. Good implied team total. We knew they'd be absolutely smashing. He falls in 81 rush yards. So I don't think this is a play the best plays, but I also don't think that is nearly as thin as a Van Jefferson. Hunter Renfrow, #gritty. Love to see it. So yeah, I think you can see based off contest selection what it means. Like here's Ian. He had one in this. I bet you this is that same one in the juke. He gets up here off of $450 in entries. He gets 1,000 here. So profit here and profit in the juke. Love to see it. Makasupa. I don't know. I know Wiggins had a 6 sweat in the 4,444. I wonder how he ended up. He had a Tua, Pitts, Waddle. He went double tight end. What a psycho. Double tight end. You absolutely love to see it. I will say neither of these guys are tight ends, though, and you are getting a wide receiver running a ton of, or a tight end running a ton of routes, lining up outside all the time. Kyle Pitts was a guy who I really liked this week. If we want to review some more of my trash plays here, Robbie Anderson, Calvin Ridley, Allen Robinson, and Kyle Pitts. Just rest. Robbie Anderson, man, might be done. But yeah, I encourage you guys to always review your lineups. You know, take a look at what you did versus what maybe some of the well-known pros did, and just see how they're identifying their player pool. But with that, I will see you tomorrow for the DraftKings first look, and here's to us getting to winning ways in Week 8. All right, peace.